Hello everyone, happy Thursday and welcome to the Playful Learning Stream with the Two-Bit Circus Foundation. My name is Kate and today we are going to be creating some superhero masks. If you have been here for a long time, following us along on the Playful Learning Stream, I have taken a little bit of a break from all of you for a little bit. I was busy engaging with some of our local libraries and teaching our classes there, but I am happy to be back with all of you and sharing how we make our superhero masks. So if you don't have any of these materials at home, we do have kits already pre-made for all of you. So you can find that out at www.twobitcircus.org. On our website, you can find our shop, and under our shop, you can find our subscription boxes, as well as a couple other items. I do believe that we're back up in shipping those out in January, because right now our warehouse is closed for the rest of the year due to the holidays. So we will be up and running and sending those kits to all of you lovely folks out there starting in the new year. But today we are making superhero masks before I start getting lost anywhere else. So I was able to do this class with a couple different libraries recently. It was a lot of fun. And we got to all work together on not only storytelling ideas, but also how to get creative with upcycled material. And we learned about circuits, which all of you, we have done our circuit class before. But today will be a great reminder if anybody needs any extra help. So what we usually suggest to make our superhero masks out of is foam. Foam is a great thin material, but that is still sturdy, so it'll still hold its shape. If you want some more solid backing than just the foam by itself, you can take a thin piece of cardboard and attach your foam to the cardboard, and it'll give it a little bit more structure, as well as a harder backing, so it can withstand a little bit more of your crime fighting. Let's see, and then nope, this is, I have too many craft bags, as you can imagine, and right now I grabbed the wrong craft bag. This is my sock pals in there. I think I have foam somewhere. Give me a second, everyone. Oh, here are my examples. This is what I was looking for. Okie dokie. So, I want to show all of you some examples. So here is an example of a superhero mask that I completed with one of my classes. And all of these materials that you see here come out of that little packet that we give you all for this class. So there is some thin cardboard or stock paper on the back of the mask to make it tougher, and then I've cut out all different sorts of shapes and taped them to the front of the cardboard out of foam. And then I had some extra upcycled material in my bag, so I made some rosettes. Excuse me. Ooh. Daylight savings time is giving Miss Kate a horrible sleep schedule because it's getting so dark so early. Excuse me. So I used, actually these are nail polish covers. Crazy enough, and I turned them into rosettes. And then, of course, pipe cleaners are great for any sort of masks you want to create because they make it really easy for you to attach your mask like so, single-handedly. So that is something that is a benefit when using that kind of material. Oh, and I've got my LED lights in here, which is great. I'm going to need these. Okie dokie. So, I do like working with these larger LED lights when we are making these superhero masks, and that's just simply because they're easier to see when you're using really small LEDs. Sometimes one can run into issues. So, what I'm going to be doing first, and what I suggest first for all of you, is making your superhero mask. So, I am first going to take a bit of this cardboard that I have here from a package, and I'm cutting off a small piece of it using a box cutter. Alright. If you don't have a box cutter nearby, but you use cardboard a lot as a crafting material, look into electric scissors. They are quite fantastic and an easy alternative to a box cutter if this tool is a little bit wily for you. Not everybody does this, but I'm going to use my Sharpie and draw out the kind of shape I want to make today. Speaking of which, what shape do I want to make today? Last time I made a moon and sun mask, and I have one in the typical sort of Harlequin fashion. I want to make something a little different. Maybe I'll take some inspiration from Star Trek. I don't know why it's on my mind, but it just is. And I've always been a really big fan of the visor that Geordie LaForge wears. Kind of like a visor that Cyclops wears, if anybody knows who Cyclops is from the X-Men universe. So it's going to be a lot thinner. That's the first adjustment that I'm going to make. I don't want to make it too thin though, because I still want it to be able to cover my eye line. Let's see if this width is something I like. Yes, that's something we can work with. Alright. And I've learned semi-recently that I really like using a hole punch for cardboard, if I need it, to make perfect circles in them. It works really, really well. And this is another way to get your pipe cleaners or your string attached onto your mask so you can wrap it around your face. I'm going to be using some string today instead of the pipe cleaners, just to change things up a bit, do something a little different. Oh my goodness. Excuse my yawning. My goodness. I'm working a little backwards than I normally do. I'm just creating a mask and then creating a storyline from it, which in the past has worked for a lot of character designers whenever it has come to some of our favorite superheroes. So, creativity can come from anywhere at any time. And there is not a perfect way or formula for it. And all I mean by that is that maybe the story comes first and then you make a mask based off of your story. Or the mask comes first in this instance. And I'm going to make a story around what I create today. But often at times, whenever we're looking at our favorite superheroes that have really iconic masks, their masks often represent something about them, whether that be their actual powers, kind of like the Flash, um, because the Flash has little lightning bolts on the side of his mask, or maybe it is just a theme that they like to run with. Batman, anyone? His mask looks a lot like the head of a bat with the two little pointy ears on top. Captain America is another great example. He wears lots of stars and stripes, but that would make sense, right? Because he's Captain America, and the American flag has the stars and stripes on it, and it is a huge symbolic combination for many, many Americans. So, superhero masks can be a part of the storytelling of the superhero themselves. And sometimes it could just be something cool that they wanted to put on. I don't know, there's probably stories out there about superheroes who wore something because they thought it was cool. I mean, that's what I do with my clothing choices. I wear what I like, and it makes me happy. And I would hope that superheroes feel the same way when they put on their super suits every day. Not really sure what I'm going for, but I really like the color combo so far. I'm gonna keep going with all the different colors that I have. Also ask yourself if you want your superhero mask to cover your identity, you know, hide your eyes or other parts of your face, or if you want to be able to see very well in your mask. If you are blocking out your vision, like I am with my mask, please be careful and do not travel anywhere while your vision is impaired. Otherwise, accidents may happen, and safety is always first here at the Playful Learning stream. We love having fun, but we always want to stay safe. And while the superhero mask is super, super cool, I cannot see through it, which is fine. But I probably shouldn't be doing any activities while wearing this mask. Now we're gonna add some blue foam. If you don't like crafting this way, feel free to paint, color, whatever inspires you. Whatever brings a little joy into your day. That always sounds good to me. I'm just adjusting my mask string right now because I'm about to put on my final panel of foam, and it's probably going to cover this hole, so I want to put my string through there already just to save myself a little stress. We're gonna go back with green. Green, green, green. Does anybody out there know if green is a primary color or a secondary color? Here's a hint. There are 3 primary colors. And primary colors are colors that cannot be made by mixing those primary colors together. I hope that makes sense. I know it is kind of confusing, but essentially all the other colors besides the primary colors can be created by mixing those 3 primary colors together. And I was asking all of you out there if green is considered one of our 3 primary colors. And actually, it is not. It is not one of the 3 primary colors. It is actually a secondary color that is made when you mix blue's over here, blue and yellow together. When you mix those 2 colors together, you get green. So blue and yellow, we know, are primary colors. Unfortunately, I don't have the 3rd primary color on here, but I do have it here on my my little tie right here. And we have already said that green is a secondary color, so that must mean that red is the 3rd primary color. And that would be correct. Red is the 3rd primary color. So red, blue, and yellow are considered the 3 primary colors, and you can mix those colors together in a bunch of different combinations, and you'll get all these amazing secondary colors out of mixing those colors together. Yee. Okay, I'm going to keep decorating a little more. I feel like it's missing a little bit of pizzazz. I really do like the simplicity of this little colored foam rainbow that I created here. I'm getting a little bit of an idea. I'm thinking of the very hungry caterpillar for some reason. That's what these colors remind me of. So that's what I'm pulling inspiration from right now, is the hungry caterpillar. I don't know how that's going to be interpreted in this mask, but I'm going to go for it. And right in about 10 minutes, friends, is when we're going to get started on the actual wiring part of our superhero mask. I just wanted to give all of us some creation time because it is important. And do not worry if you still want to decorate more. Once we start wiring up our superhero mask, that is perfectly fine. And you can always go back to decorating once we have wired everything together. Some people are very fast decorators. Others, like myself, are a little bit slower. I like to take my time. I'm also somebody who really likes to make sure that the item that they are creating with looks the best that it can. Kind of liking that. I'm not really sure where I'm going here, but I like it. I like the material. I'm quite enjoying that crinkly sound. Alright. Looks like we've got something working here. It's a very interesting superhero mask. And I have some googly eyes I definitely want to attach onto this, so let's see. Where are we? Googly eyes. Aha. What is a crafting bag without a giant Ziploc bag full of googly eyes? Oh yes, I'm definitely going to need some of these larger ones. Oh, but it looks like that is the only one of its size, which is okay. I am going to just pivot. Maybe I'll make something cool with what googly eyes I do have in here. What's fun about these googly eyes is that they all come in different colors. So this one is a lovely little brown googly eye. I've got a pink googly eye. It helps out with the asymmetry that I like. And right now I'm just using scotch tape, or masking tape, excuse me, to craft with and attach all of my decorative components on. But obviously you can use whatever sort of adhesive you have at home. That does include glue, hot glue, scotch tape, whatever you have available to you, use. You do not have to have the exact same materials as I have with me here to make something very similar to what I have made here today. Just so you all know, we have about 7 more minutes of creating time before I start the electrical components. So try to wind down to a creative stop or a place where you think you can hold off for now and get back to. I originally had the intent of only having 2 googly eyes on here, but now I'm thinking that this is not going to be exactly what I want until I get 4 googly eyes on, which is what I've done. I've got these lovely 4 little googly eyes. And I love this little piece of foil at the end of it that's very sparkly, shimmery, makes a nice noise. Whenever the googly eyes move, it moves, so having some fun here. And attaching it to my face is not too hard. I've put a string on here that I can tighten on this side, and then I can tie it off if I want to. This is my superhero look, although I cannot see through it since I did not cut myself eye holes. So do not forget that, friends. If you do want to be able to see and wear your superhero mask around while doing activities, make sure to cut yourself eye holes. Otherwise, it's going to be very dangerous, and this is more of a crafting piece than it is a wearable piece of technology. So this is my iteration this week. This was my iteration not too long ago with the pipe cleaners. Oops, let me just tie them together real fast. Pipe cleaners are super handy mask attachers because you can do them yourself. So as you can see with this one, I did make some eye holes for myself so I can see through my mask, which is very important. So if you want to be able to wear your mask around, I highly suggest the eye holes in it, like this mask I have. And if you need to be able to tie on your mask yourself, I highly suggest the pipe cleaners. They are super easy. Or if you want to create a super fun decorative mask like I have done here, all I did was tie a knot on one side right here, and then I looped my string through the other hole that I made on the other side, and it's loose actually in there. I don't have a knot, so if I need to tighten the string around my head, all I do is pull this longer piece of string and it actually shortens the string. Pull it here to loosen it, and that is also a helpful technique for attachment of a mask or anything onto your head that you need to tie by yourself. But we're going to be soon, in 3 minutes, we are going to start wiring everything. So I'm going to make some of my last minute attachments. I'm going to make sure that I have all the materials that I need to show you all how to make your superhero mask light up. Aha! So I'm going to gather those materials up. So we can light something up together. circuit somewhere to find for all of you. Oh my goodness gracious me. Did I put it in one of my bags? I may have. Oh dearie dearie me. Did I put it accidentally under you guys? Nope. Looks like that's not where I placed it. I'd collected it and put it nearby. Oh well. Miss Kate, if it was a snake, it would have bit you. Shame on me. So, if you order a subscription packet from us, in the larger material bag where you're going to find all of the goodies to make your own fun little mask, you're also going to find this smaller bag in there that contains all of the wiring material that you need for today. So what you are going to need is an LED of some kind. I highly suggest the kind that have 2 different lengths of legs coming out, and this is solely because this is the easiest way to decipher between a positive and a negative light, on an LED. You are also going to need some electrical wire, like so, just some metal wire that we have here. You want to have a paper clip, and that paper clip is going to be your switch. And as usual, on top of that, you're also going to need a coin cell battery. And the coin cell battery is important because we need power in our superhero mask, and in order to get power, we're going to need a battery. And Miss Kate has to change her light setup so that you can all see her while the sun is going down. Okie dokie. So, we have talked about circuits before, but I'm going to run over them briefly with everyone here so that no one is lost. That would be very sad. And let me grab a paper clip so that I can make the switch with you all. Oh my goodness me. Paper clips. Always necessary. So I've brought out my large drawing notepad. Alrighty, so the way that I like to remember circuits is that with circuits, I personally think of a circle. Circuit, circle, pretty easy to remember those twos. Circuit, circle. See? A circuit and a circle. Pretty easy. So, a circuit is a circle, a completed circle, if where it touches a completed circle just like that, where both ends touch each other. Now, if the circuit is open, like so, it's not a completed circle, then it's called an open circuit. Surprise, surprise. Open circuit, closed circuit. Pretty simple there. So, what a circuit typically needs in order to get power is a battery of some kind. So you need a battery. This battery has a positive and a negative side. Usually on batteries, the positive side will have the little dent on top of it, that little part that pokes out a little bit, and the negative side is going to be the very smooth, flat side. So, the battery is often connected to, and I'm just going to use an example of a light bulb this time. I'm sorry that light bulb looks a little bit like a mushroom. I guess I'm hungry. Alright, so battery, light bulb, that's just a part of the circuit. Now the last part of the circuit that connects the light bulb to the battery again is important. Otherwise, if we were to complete this line right here, this light would always stay on. It wouldn't have an option of being off until the light bulb burned out or the battery ran out of power. So we don't necessarily always want to go down that avenue. So instead, what we have in between that connects the light bulb to the battery or the power is some sort of switch, right? And we're just lucky that some of them have on and off written on them. But that switch is super important. It's what opens and closes the circuit. So whenever you flip the light switch on, like my light is on back there, my circuit is closed, so there's power to the light above me. But watch what happens when I turn it off or I open the circuit. My light turns off, and that's because that light bulb is not getting any power. But if I flip it back on again and close my circuit, I have light. So that's a great explanation of what a circuit is and what we're creating here today in order to make our superhero masks work for us. So we know that a circuit needs a battery, some sort of thing that it's getting power to, sometimes a light, and most importantly, a switch. That switch is super important in order to open or close that circuit. So I hope that brief explanation excuse my stutter, that brief explanation was informative to you all about the way that batteries and electricity in particular works. Because electricity is not a natural resource, so it needs an original power source, and that needs to come from something else. Alrighty, so what I want you all first to do is grab your LEDs for me, and as you can see on this LED, it has two different size legs. It's got a tall one and a short one. You can see it right there. Just so you know, the long side, the longer leg, this side right over here, is going to be the positive side of the LED, while the shorter leg is going to be the negative side of the LED. And why that is important, my friends, is because I need you to remember which side is which when you poke your LED into the area that you want it to be at. So I have done that right here with my LED, and I'm going to mark for myself on my mask on the back side so only I can see it what leg is positive and what leg is negative. And I can remember that by remembering that the longer leg is the positive leg side. So I'm going to put a plus side on this side. And that means that this side has got to be the negative side of the LED. And I've marked that for myself so that I don't have to constantly check, or if I forget on accident, I have something to help me out. And I'm gently bending the legs down so that they are more flat against the mask. What I want to do next is I want to take the wire that I have and wrap that around the positive side of my LED. So all I'm doing is I've looped the string onto the positive leg, and I'm just wrapping my string around it as much as I can. Crafting like this definitely reminds me of why I love crafting in groups, because sometimes it helps to have a few extra hands. Sometimes 2 hands is not enough for crafting. Sometimes it's easier with actually a couple different sets of hands. So I am tying my wire to the positive side of my battery. positive side of my LED, just like so. And on the end of this wire, I am going to tie on a paper clip. And the paper clip here, my friend, is going to represent our switch. Now make sure your paper clip is not covered in plastic. I just had to check the ones that I had at home, and unfortunately they were, so that means that they will not conduct electricity. I need a fully metal paper clip. This time I cannot work with plastic covered metal paper clips. I need a fully metal paper clip. And that's because we need a conductive surface, not a surface that retains the energy. We need a conductor. So all I'm doing now is I'm just making the connection a little stronger on the side where it's connected, excuse me, to my paper clip. Keep catching hair in my mouth. Woof, excuse me. Alrighty, so what I have right here is my positive leg of my LED wrapped in wire, and the other end of it has a paper clip tied to it. What I want to do next is I want to take my coin cell battery, which I'm grabbing right now. This is what coin cell batteries look like, and these are often used inside watches, or what other things have coin cell batteries? Sometimes different toys will, but most coin cell batteries I've mostly been seen used for watches. Alrighty, and on a coin cell battery, just like other batteries, it will tell us what side is positive and what side is negative. But if you couldn't see on the coin cell battery the positive symbol, which you can see right here, it's a plus sign right there. You can see it under the CR2032 number. That's the positive sign. So this smooth side is the positive side of the battery. That means, obviously, by powers of deduction, that this side with all those little spots on it is going to be the negative side of the battery. So the textured side that you can actually feel, it's a little bit bumpy, is the negative side of the battery, while the smooth side with all the writing on it is going to be the positive side of the battery. And that is important for us to know because we are putting the negative side of the battery onto the negative side of the LED leg. That's right, negative needs to touch negative. Okay? And we don't want this battery to touch the positive leg or the positive side because we might accidentally short out our battery, which would be no good. And shorting out your battery just means that you have accidentally drained all the power out of your battery, and now it no longer has anything left, so it cannot power anything more. And for some reason, Miss Kate has totally lost her masking tape somehow. But Scotch tape will do just fine. So I'm going to tape my battery onto my negative side of my LED. But I do want part of the battery still exposed, not covered in tape, as you can see right there, because I need to be able to touch my switch onto the battery in order to turn on our light. And when I do so, we have light! No light, light. No light, light. And all I'm doing is taking my switch right here and touching it onto this exposed part of the battery that is the positive side of the battery. And that is what is turning my LED light on, as you can all see. Green light is on, off, on, off. And that, my friends, is how you make a light up superhero mask. And what I just showed you there in the second half in lighting the LED light, that is going to work with lighting most LEDs or most lights if you can get a power source for it, as well as having a light that can take that small amount of power and really be able to turn on. Unfortunately, our giant light bulbs that we have, like in the light that's hanging above my kitchen, our small, excuse me, coin cell battery is not going to work for that. It does not have enough power in order to turn that light on. So keep that in mind, that the reason why this circuit works for this particular LED is because this LED is very small. As you can see, they even come in smaller sizes, this tiny blue one versus the clear one, the size that we've been using. These are the types of lights that you can power on by using a coin cell battery. Otherwise, you're going to have to upgrade to larger batteries. And if you find that you're not getting enough power to your LED light, either reinforce your ties a little more or expose more of the positive side of the battery, or make sure that the negative side of the battery is still very much so securely attached to the negative leg of the LED. All of these things are important when working with circuits, electricity, and robotics, because any sort of loose attachment causes a gap. And that gap can cause a lot of issues when trying to get power to something. Whenever I am working with a small circuit like this, or on the small circuits that I've made with the ArtBot, I always try to make sure that all of my conductive areas, like the LED leg with the metal wire on it, the battery touching the leg, I want to make sure that all of those connections are really solid and there is as much power running through the light as possible, based off of what we can do, our battery and our amazing little lights. So that, my friends, is how you make your superhero mask. If you need me to go through it again, I am just about to. I am just pulling apart what I have right now so that I can go through it again with any of you who may be lost, which is so okay. So for my LED, as you can see right here, it has two different legs that are different lengths. The longer one, the one on this side, is going to be the positive side of the LED, while the shorter side over here is going to be the negative side of the LED. In order to remember that, I split my legs apart of the LED, just like so, and I mark down the positive side and the negative side with a marker by using a plus and a minus symbol. I then take some of my electrical wire right here and I wrap it around the positive side of the LED, which you can all see in this view. I have taken the wire and wrapped it a few times. And then on the other end of the wire, what I have is my switch, which is just a giant paper clip. And all I have done here is tied my wire onto my paper clip. Nothing fancy. Woo! Excuse me again, I'm so sorry. Nothing fancy. Athena, it's not dinner time yet. Dinner time's at 6 o'clock. She thinks it's dinner time. So what I have here is just a simple loop that I've connected, and that is that part. Yes, Miss Athena, 6 o'clock is dinner time, not right now. Next, we moved on to exploring our coin cell battery, which I have right here. And we learned that this side, the smooth side with the plus symbol, is the positive side, while the opposite side, this side with all the texture on it, is the negative side of the coin cell battery. And what I need you to do is take the negative side right here and put that onto the negative LED leg of your mask. Make sure the connection is secure. It is important. So the back of your mask will look like this, with the positive leg on this side and the negative leg covered by the negative side of the battery on this side. And in order to turn your light on enough, all you do is take your paper clip and touch it to the positive side of the battery like so. And by doing that, friends, you turn on your LED light. Oops, there you go. You can see that it's on now. Yay! I have a beautiful light. Woo, 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 woo. Yes, so that is how you make your light up superhero mask. And it doesn't have to just be a mask. This lighting situation can be utilized in many other different experiments that you may have. Try it out on a couple different things and let us know. Either hit us up on Instagram, where you can find us at 2-Bit Circus Foundation, or even our Facebook. Or maybe you have an imagination chapter near you. So reach out to your imagination leaders. And I know soon we have an Inventors Challenge coming up, where we're looking for submissions. So ask your nearest responsible adult about that. And as I said earlier in this stream, although we are done for this year, the foundation is not going anywhere, and we do make subscription boxes for you, like the superhero mask that can be sent straight to your location with all of the materials that you need. You don't have to go hunting in your house for notions. We'll provide them for you by using our upcycled materials that we save from different corporations. And you will have an activity that you and your loved ones can do, as well as our online archive of I think we have over 60 projects now on there. It's something crazy and awesome. And not to mention the fact that we are also partnering with the Annenberg Learner, and you will find us there on their website as well, with a lot of different activities from us on there. So you can find more of this information at www.2bitcircus.org, and there you can look at our shop, a little bit about our warehouse, our staff, and maybe you can catch our little catch up from our anti-gala that happened this year again for the second year in a row. We were ecstatic to have all of you there virtually. We had an amazing online auction. I know that there were a couple, if not more, Lego RBGs that went out to great homes created by the ever amazing and talented Brent Bushnell. And speaking of Brent and the amazing people at 2-Bit Circus Corporation, tonight is our usual trivia night with all of you. So you can sign up at www.2bitcircus.com, I believe. You can find our trivia night Thursdays on there, and you can sign up for tonight as well as some upcoming Thursdays. Not only is it a great time, but you might get your competitive hat on, because I know I definitely do. We had a Halloween round a couple of weeks ago, and that was a super fun way to participate with other people around the world, because we actually had somebody from Australia tune in a socially distanced way, in a way where you and I can keep ourselves healthy and at home, following the rules that we need to. What else? Is there anything else from the foundation or corporate that I can think of? Not really, but this upcoming Tuesday you will have Michael and probably Robert back for another hour of playful learning, and then of course myself. I've been thinking of starting a class on chess. If any of you are interested in that, please let us know. Email us, DM us on Instagram, leave us a note, send it by carrier pigeon. But if you're interested in learning a little bit of chess, maybe you were inspired by watching The Queen's Gambit on Netflix, or maybe you have just been a chess player your whole life, or maybe somebody in your family knows how to play chess, but they don't have the time to teach you. Well, Miss Kate definitely has the time to teach you, and she would love to learn along with you, because I used to be a chess player, but it's been a long, long time since I've picked up a game of chess and done it well. So I would love to brush up on my skills again and work through it together and work through a lot of the STEAM concepts that are available to us in chess. There's a lot of strategy involved there. Yes, there is some math involved there when it has to deal with the moves. And also, there's a little bit of pattern recognition. There are certain players on the chessboard that can only move certain ways or move other ways when they have other special properties that they gain because you were able to make that pawn a queen, for example. So all of that fun stuff and more is in the books for us to plan, not only for you, but for anybody else there who wants an hour of playful learning. We are here for you weekly, Tuesdays to Thursdays from 3:30 to 4:30 Pacific Standard Time, to help you along, maybe alleviate you from some Zoom exhaustion. And parents, if you are watching this with your young ones, your younglings, definitely check us out on Wednesdays on our Teachers First Teacher stream. Not only is that for educators right now, but it also means you, mom and dad, because you are definitely a part of their education system at home while we are safer at home and in this lockdown. So if you need some support, maybe some laughs, maybe somebody to help you out in a sticky situation, or maybe just to hear somebody commiserate with you on how difficult it has been this year to pivot in the educational system. Check us out weekly on Wednesdays for the Teacher for Teacher stream. I believe that starts right at 3:30, just like our other activities with playful learning. And I guess I will close this out in the last 4 minutes with going over what we did today. Well, what we did today is we collaborated together and made some light up superhero masks. We spent the majority of the first half of the class decorating our masks, either because we wanted to portray a certain theme with our character, or maybe a certain silhouette with them. Maybe it's some storytelling we were trying to get done with just the look of our character. After we did that, we explored a little bit about circuitry and electrics and how that works, and we learned what a closed circuit was versus an open circuit, and how the words circuit and circle have a lot in common and can help us remember what a circuit actually is. Then we were able to make a simple circuit using an LED light, some metal wiring, a coin cell battery, and our brains and our hands to make a simple circuit that allowed a light to light up whenever we turned on our switch with our paper clip on our superhero mask. So not only did we make something that was a wearable today, but we also made it electronic. So you just made your first ever e-textile. And there are a bunch of different items in the world right now that follow that sort of idea. You may have seen light up shirts, or shirts that react to the music around it. Light up shoes do the same thing. Anything that has light up capabilities is considered an e-textile. So you have joined the ranks of making your own e-textile this week. Well, that's all for me this week. Excuse me. To all of you, have a happy Thursday. I hope that you are all staying warm and healthy during this latter half of the year. I hope you're looking forward to the holidays. To anyone who is observing it, happy Hanukkah. I hope you are enjoying lots of latkes. That's what I miss the most. I know there's so much more to Hanukkah, but I do love the food. And that's it from us here at the Two-Bit Circus Foundation. Thank you so much, you all, for joining us for another hour of playful learning. I will see you all next week, and if you cannot wait a week until you see me, definitely join us join us again, for another hour of playful learning with Robert and Michael on Tuesday at 3:30. Until then,